And we are live, guys. Hey, what's shaking? It looks like we're going to bounce right through another blooming weekend. Okay. I know I look a fright. I'm hoping my hair will stay out of my way for this one. If not, you may see me kind of move things around and throw my headpiece back on. I have the worst trouble. I have such a little head, and my husband got me this great set of earphones. I mean, you can hear my eyelashes when I close my eyes. It is awesome. And I thought, well, I really don't need them. But when I asked for them, he didn't argue or anything with me, and he should have. He's like, you don't know what you need, what you don't need, and he would have been right. But he went and got these for me, and even called me while the sales lady was there to get what I wanted. He's so cool. He is. He's a very cool dude. I mean, he's my best friend too. He's not just my husband, and he knows more about me than anybody ever did or ever will, which could be just a little bit scary. But he's taken care of me for 34 years, so I'm not scared of him. And here we go. We have our monsters loose today. We have Kit Kit up at the bar. We have Pixie. She's now, yeah, they done, as you can see, went different ways. Yeah, this is my husband's bar, but he was kind enough to allow me to borrow it until we finished my studio upstairs. And that's really kind of him. It's a gorgeous bar. It's a very expensive bar. And I'm proud to say he does leave me up here. And as far as family members, I think maybe he is the only one that bothers to like it every day. And he's busy. So it's for entertainment purposes, guys. I'm going to be here all week. Here we are. Oh, God, Monday. I'm not sure if they say it's an oh, God Monday, but to me, it's an oh, God Monday. I have to go to two. I'm hoping to get out of this, but I probably won't. It's the VA, and there's all kinds of crap going on, all the tests and surgeries, and suddenly they're billing you. It's ridiculous, and not just. I mean, they get you for the worst, highest things they can get you at, and then bam, they send you your bill along with your statement telling you how they're going to get your bill paid. I love that. Yeah. That's been fun. My husband's so calm. He's just don't worry about it. I'm huffing and puffing and blowing down the damn house, and he's a wonderful dude. I mean, he's always the calm to my storm. But oh, I was hot under the collar. I mean, I had already called and everything because I didn't want to tell him. I had just had double eye surgery, and he's been a rock. I mean, I don't worry as long as he's there. He's a rock. And I never asked because I've had several procedures over the 20 years I've been there, and then I knew that they had changed things. So suddenly had started asking for insurance. Well, when I first went back to the VA, I had insurance, and it didn't occur to me that those who didn't have insurance were going to get hit with this huge bill. So we can see how smart I am. So here I have, this appointment tomorrow, and I'm hoping that at some point today I can get through. And I explain, look, nothing has changed. I don't want to add anything more to my bill because my husband pays bills, and it's not right. I mean, this one I can actually handle, but it's not fair. They didn't tell me. They just started these procedures, and I get hit with a huge bill. You can imagine double surgery costs for the eyes. So yeah, I'm real happy, and he still keeps calming me down. Bless his heart. Screw them. We'll get it paid, and I just love him. He's good at that. Well, we fight tooth and nail, just like any other couple have been together, since we were little, and we're now old as dirt. So it's not like we don't quarrel. But when it comes to important things, you have to be able to rely on somebody. And no matter what it is, or what fight you've had, for me anyway, I'm calling my husband. I don't trust nobody but him. And he's calm. He's always calm. He might get mad at you later or something and raise his voice, but he's a calm guy. He's great. And he'll remember something I said I wanted, 4 months ago, and it'll show up. So I mean, like when my laptop tanked. I was panicked because I wanted to start this. And the next morning he had me a replacement at the door delivered. I mean, that's just so cool, isn't it? I mean, you just can't get around guys like that. That's what we need more of, you know. He's no hippie too. And I think maybe people are taking the connotation wrong of hippie. Hippie means just love and peace. It brings you back to love and peace. Woodstock. Mine says social Woodstock. That doesn't mean everybody needs to lay down and take acid. Not at our age. I mean, I don't believe the implant on our heart would take it. So it just means an exchange of ideas freely. Nobody's going to be in the middle of it. It means we have kept silent and kept working. Our grandkids are now grown, and it's time for all of us to be able to stand up and say something about current events, no matter what they are, because pretty soon we may not be able to stand up. So I beg all of you once again, hit the like, tickle the bell, you'll be subscribed, and you'll get a little, and it'll tell you it's me. And you don't have to watch it at that time. You don't have to watch it at all. You can take the subscription off in 20 seconds, and it's free. Any like would share watching it. Watch one and critique me. I would love that. I really, really would. This is all very new to me. Both my husband and my son. When I went to Christmas, and first off, they asked me what I wanted, and I had been looking through starter kits to start a webcam, and I was arrogant enough to think I could do it. Wasn't real smart of me, but I'm working my buns off. I'm the whole crew. I love this. And my husband, I got to give my husband, he's on my crew. He does all of the wiring. Without him, you wouldn't know I was here. So, I mean, there's so many issues that the first week he worked out for me. I almost hate to move because it's going to be another chore for him is to move me. But as you can see from the angle, there are my steps. He's already sanded them down, getting those ready. You can see the wood floors. He had to take all of the wood flooring out. We had to have a pod for 2 months, and nobody came to help him. When I was growing up, and you saw that your parent, and same with Robert's parents, if he saw that they were going to need something, he came from Texas one year on our own dime and bought the stuff that his mother needed so she would have air conditioning. And then he ran the wires, he put it all together. And when he and I went home, she had air conditioning. Down here in the South, it's like 190 in these homes. So this is the kind of guy he is. He's a great guy. He was a great son. He's a great husband. Awesome, awesome father to both my son and grandfather to my grandson. And yes, he is their only father and grandfather. Yes, biologically, my son has a father. But he said flat out to his biological father, he'd shoot him in the face if he came anywhere near either me, Robert, or especially one of his kids. Because mom's coming behind him with a shotgun, so he better shoot fast. Reason again, that should be in my book. Again, I did not hit politics today, and last night I decided I was just going to chill. I didn't feel real well, and my knee had swelled up when I broke in boot camp that I've been kind of trying to get disability for because it's never gone away, and now it's all kinds of a bother. And now they've decided to sue me for surgery costs, and it's not cheap, folks. I am on payments or will be, so we'll hopefully get that paid down. And the first thing, God love him, my husband was saying was, "Well, I'm going to do this job, and it's going to be this several dollars, and we'll put it on your bill." It's not his bill. I mean, it's not his bill. And so it would kill me. He works 24/7. He's not young. He should be out on his boat fishing for like a week. I mean, he's got the RV. I wouldn't be worried about him at all. I'm sorry. He knows I don't really do the fishing part thing, and I can see. I'm going to have to stay by the mic. That could be how I'm fading in and out. But he's a good husband. He stays at home unless he's doing little things like down the street, pretty much here in Augusta. I would not be worried about him. I'm an old Army veteran, and he's always usually truck driving somewhere, and in between maybe he was a mechanic, but that's not an easy life either. It's good money, but he won't work for a company that steals from their people. And he can only take so much. He got where he wouldn't read it, so he could try to just stay home instead of on the road, and he couldn't take it. And I don't blame him. When you're a good person, you can't stand by and go, what? When they get their bill, and you got to hand them the bill, and it says 62.50, and it was only $50 for the part, and if you the mechanics, so basically $100, and they've got a 6,000 plus bill, and it's like, whoa. And he would just, bless his heart, he would come home, and I'm like, oh, you got mad again. So he would go back on the road. So it was, for a while. And those trucks beat people up. I'm telling you, y'all don't appreciate truck drivers, y'all too. They got a family, they got friends. They're just as normal as you and I. There's only one thing that's different. They get no sleep, they get no appreciation, they work their little asses off. And that should be recognized by one and sundry. Let me tell you, you wouldn't have nothing in these stores. This is not brought in by rail, it's delivered by trucks, by truck drivers who see their families maybe 2 days in 14. Sometimes it's only 2 days that month. So you wouldn't believe how many marriages tank. It's worse than what the military has, because they could be gone for a month before they come home, which is actually a little bit better than the GI, because I'd be stuck somewhere for 2 years. you you can't. It's like yin and yang kind of thing. Still, wives have to be wives. They take a vow, so they can't say, "Oh, well, let me see. Yeah, he won't be back till next Tuesday of next year. So come on over, honey." What the? I see this all the time on TV. I've been doing the YouTube thing, and I just don't get it. If you got married and you knew maybe that's why they got married, knew the husband would be there, so maybe that's why. I don't know. It's the damnedest thing to me, though. So let's see. We've gone through that marriages. Anybody else got a topic up there? I got a live chat on. My algorithms went up. I had another 11 viewers. We're creeping in there, guys. I'm loving this. Sending lots of love out there. Sent some back. I could use it. Mm. I've been down here off and on for over 30 years. And they seem to be surprised by the phony verdict with her little pet puppet, the judge, whatever his name is. That's her puppet. And she didn't even get removed from shit. She shouldn't even have a key to the washroom. Nothing happened to her. She can't see the boyfriend. Well, she was already broke up supposedly with the boyfriend. What, no new million? She can't hire for that? Well, that's terrible news. She can still prosecute the case against Trump as the DA of Georgia. Yeah. So I don't know who decides that. Judge doesn't, is it Judge McAfee? I keep seeing Acme over his head. So I think it's Judge McAfee would drop that anvil on it. He should have been recused from the bench for this entire trial. He should certainly have stepped down when they found he was a contributor and a major contributor to her campaign to become DI. He did neither one. And then he didn't do anything, period, to the girl or the guy. Nobody got anything. It was just go back to work. Don't date him. And you can just feel yourself going, "Oh God, I want to scream! I want to scream!" This is why I don't vote. One of the reasons. The fact is, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. You're not voting for nobody. They done did that. Look it up. Google's got bloom and everything. Love Google. I got to say, I love them. They got some stuff. But look it up. You'll see for a fact I'm telling you the truth. Ain't no use for you being out there. I don't know what the difference is between the electoral college vote and then they come over for the regular vote. And then I hear Trump screaming, "The Georgia ballots have been stolen." Well, they were actually. He was very right about that. But at the time, it's landed him into this. And the January 6th thing, which is into this court in Fulton County, aka Atlanta. And I have to say, as far as justice in this city, I don't think they can spell justice, let alone serve justice. They'd have to look up what that meant on their phones. And when they're Googling justice. No, that's not it. Let's try that. Maybe telegraph going on. No, they don't know. There's no justice in Georgia. I suspect in many states it's the same way. Texas, I still respect. Most of them I don't. When you can burn down police stations and then you see somebody being arrested on the side of the road, which is a 5'2" girl, and they slam her face down in the concrete, I don't think that's right. When they're standing there against the squad car and they're searching her, dude, no, I don't think that's right. No, I really don't. I love my guys in blue. I love my guys on the fire department. I used to teach them the paramedics that they use now. Mine was a much slimmed down version at the time. It's just the 70s. But I have also seen some horrific things take place. They sat on one guy, and it was four cops sitting on what's his name? I think his name was Floyd. The poor man, and you could hear he couldn't breathe, but they were still sitting on it. And it didn't. He was cuffed. He wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't struggling. And he had four cops sitting on it. I've seen, and I've made it my business to watch. So, and I couldn't help laughing at almost every one I saw. Um, they know that the officers have body cams. They know they have rights. Unfortunately, when do those rights kick in? Nobody show hands? Okay, I got this one. When you get in front of judges, when those things kick in. So shut the hell up. Do what they tell you. Don't make it worse because they will come up with some more shit to throw on your ticket. Your form will be so long that you will look like you have been fighting police for 12 years and they've been hunting you with dogs. This Georgia, honey, this Georgia. This is not San Francisco. You're not in California. This Georgia. You spit at a cop, they put you in this like cocoon and this head thing that looks like a net that you're used to catch maybe fireflies or something. Damnedest thing I've ever seen. And they're still going off them. And they weren't going to get arrested. I mean, they got arrested because they kept going, got Nuffers' face, shoving them in. I mean, get arrested for stupid. But it's still Georgia, and they gave them plenty of chances to not be arrested. These dumbasses went to jail. Mm-mm-mm. But you don't mess with Texas? I love Texas, miss Texas so bad. And you don't mess with Georgia. They don't play. Georgia just simply does not play. If you don't have the shit when they ask you for it and you don't shut up or you try to shove them or get in their face, you're going to jail. And if you try to find that, they're going to cocoon you up, throw your ass in there. No way. They're pulling you out of there like they were a ski rescue team. Funniest damn thing, I swear to God. I've gotten almost addicted to it. I was editing you guys last night's performance. And I was watching the Karens more and laughing more at that. So I went on up to the big screen and threw myself on the big screen and went, oh my God, it's 50 pounds now. That the camera adds. Oh shit, I will be here all week. There's a damn tip jar around here somewhere. Use that. Though. I could use all the help I could get. Mm. My poor withstanding husband, he puts up with a lot, let me tell you. He does put up with a lot. He's a great dude. I think he says other women are jealous, and I don't understand why, but he says they're jealous of our relationship. We were friends first, last, and always. That's my buddy, as well as my husband. So you don't do that to your buddies. You don't lie, cheat, steal, play around behind their back. You don't do that kind of stuff. But it's the South. Now this is again Bible thumping, Bible preaching people. Unless it's your husband they want to sleep with, I mean, or your brother, or I mean, holy, I mean, they will keep it in the family. I bet they take this one down too. Um, mm. I was thinking, where was I going with that? I tend to, actually, I was just going with the sorry, the DA. I'm used to saying VA. The DA should have been brought up on charges. The judge should have been brought up on charges. The assets frozen. This woman was paying this man $1 million with cash. How did she make $1 million in cash? Just saying. Follow the money, follow the money. Well, they make sure you can't do that for the military shit they've been doing. They militarized the police. That wasn't good enough. They hired 88,000 IRS guys and weaponized their ass for this year. Well, somebody got to pay for those hotel rooms for the immigrant workers. What is that? What they're called? Okay, most of us we just call it mortgage, but whatever works for the police. I'm talking the federal. No, not even federal police. They're the FBI. The freaking FBI. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? It's just you can't make this stuff up. I was going through it again. I got and yes, maybe lately I do some Bible thumping. When you see camels floating by, I still laugh at this. I hope to God somebody got to them. But there's like 4 camels floating by. And at that point, you just throw your hands up and go, yep, I've seen everything. But I hadn't. It got worse. And you say, how did it get worse? Because a lot of people have time to watch. Um, well, some cranes fell at Mecca. Just beat the crap out of the cube. I'm not sure what they call that. I forget. And injured like 54 people. I think several dead, 5 or 6. And this is Mecca, and it was brought down by the winds and the hail. This does not happen there. This just doesn't happen there. And sure enough, it comes down, and people are usually there doing a Hajj. They have to do it once in their lifetime, so it's not like one day at Mecca that you will see the Muslims doing the Hajj. This is like 24/7, 365. They come from all over Arabia. And I say Arabia in its true sense. They call them the Arab immigrants, I think now, but to me, I still see them in the old Arabia, like the old black and white photos or the old movies when they first started, like Errol Flynn type thing. Yeah, I know 3 of them maybe caught that. I don't look it up. Google's got it. Errol Flynn. Let me remember. Okay, there you go. Got any questions? So I'm in a live chat. I get you. Yeah. Mm. I love being up here. It's already been 20 some odd minutes, and I haven't had an excuse to put A to B together. I hear Sinwar's quartered in the tunnels, and I also heard devastatingly that they had still not recovered 70 odd people from hostages. So now I know that 33 were taken. Well, they were already hostages, I'll put it that way, and they died. And when they said the 70 something figure, I know that another 34 died since last week. And there are still supposed to be women and children and some young men alive. I don't think their young men are alive. I pray to God I'm wrong. But I think there's going to be a whole lot of grieving going on, and there already is, bless their hearts. Um, then I hear that Chuck Schumer gets up and run his old ass mouth like he got something to say. Spell cat. I bet he can't do it. Man's been there. He's old as dirt. He ain't never done nothing but sit there and try to harm somebody else's problems. That's not his damn job. I don't know who elected him. I don't even know what state he represents. But personally, if he were still in office and this was when it was, say, 1820, they just had to get a rope and then put him in a rose garden. They wouldn't have wasted a bullet, not a bit of it. No, they wouldn't have. I got a question. This one's fun to me. How many people know Arlington Cemetery? Show of hands. Yeah, you know of Arlington Cemetery. That is what? What is Arlington Cemetery? That is a cemetery. It's a military cemetery. It's for those who have fallen in service to the United States. They are military. Okay. What was it before it became the Federal Military Cemetery? Yeah, go ahead. I'll wait. Coffee's pretty good. Mm. Anybody? Live chat? Nope, nope, nope. Nobody? Really? Let's see here. I got some stuff on my live chat. Where'd that come from? Keep thinking I'm here. Because they are doing some crazy shit on my computer. Which means if they keep it up, I will close it down and I will reboot this sucker right back to factory standards. Don't mess with me. My husband replaced this puppy in like less than 12 hours. Okay, my chat's clear again. Okay, and we were in Arlington, and I have visited Arlington, of course, and all of the monuments. I've been to all of it. I worked there, for heaven's sake. This is the only planned city, by the way, in the United States. The city was planned. I mean, they knew where Fifth Avenue would be put. They knew when Washington Drive would be. I'm just saying, from the get-go, this was a swamp when they got there. It was just a swamp. And so they made, I can't think of his name now, but in any event, and they measured it out, did this, did that, and they knew what they were going to put in each place. And at that, I'm not talking, Lincoln was alive then. I mean, no, that would be in, the forefathers, Washington and Jackson and, those guys. Um, but it's still scary that the way they planned it out. I mean, the forefathers definitely expected to make a one world government. And truthfully, if you ask me, that's not far away. I think they're already talking about digitalizing the money. It's not going to be good, folks. Not at all. So Arlington, back to Arlington. Let me circle back. Arlington during the Civil War, and actually we'll go with before the Civil War, so I don't lose you. And that's no, I don't mean that as an insult. I mean I go back and around stuff. I don't have a single train of thought. Arlington used to be Robert E. Lee's plantation before they made it Arlington. It was always called Arlington by the Lees. Robert's son Robert came and tried to buy the property back. Well, they allowed him to do so. However, by that time, there were over 8,000 graves of veterans there. And this man was so respectful that he donated his family's lands to the government as long as they continued to use them for military purposes of burial. And you just want to hug him. That's a good guy, because they never should have done what they did to Robert E. Lee. They had no need to turn his property into a graveyard. They did it because they could. Robert E. Lee was in Virginia, of course. That's where his plantation was. That's where Arlington still is, of course, today. No, they did this it was to obliterate his plantation. It was bad. It was the North was not happy. The North didn't pull any strings. They didn't withhold anything. They invented the Gatling gun during Civil War. Okay, if those of you are familiar with automatic firepower, at that time they still had muskets. They didn't have auto power on the rifles. So they wheeled out that Gatling gun and just decimate rows and rows of Confederates. So this isn't in your school books. You actually have to walk around and see some of the sites. And there's several really good places you can go as a tourist. And they will give you so much and they will take you on a tour. So you can look those up and take whatever tour you'd like. It seems to me, and I was very upset about this, they were painting graffiti on the Vietnam Memorial, of which I lost a lot of people, a lot of loved ones to that supposedly not war. And my friends and my family's names are on that wall for a reason. They died serving their country. And mind you, this was a draft. They didn't walk up there and say, hey, let me go kill people. No, they didn't. They were drafted at 18 years old. And they mostly died at 18 or 19 years old. I had nephews and cousins that were gone within 6-8 weeks by the time they hit the ground in Vietnam. So, yeah. That's why I enlisted out of delayed employment, because I wanted to make sure that I could get in there and do something to help those who had gone through this and had died. Again, and I'm an adopted woman, but I had 8 years with the family, and I loved my extended family, and they were dying for no reason. And by the time I got in, they had phased out the whack court. I was regular army, so shit was, shit hit the fan. So, but I'm still a stickler about that. And they defaced the monument to Vietnam. Mind you, the Vietnam Memorial did not go up until the 80s, which also PO'd me. I mean, it really did. Uh, at one time, I had 7 bracelets. So let's just say a lot of my family members died, regardless of whether I was adopted. That's not the point. The point is, these kids died en masse, and they have still yet to call it a war. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I call it a war when they start sending home body bags. I got to call it as I see it. I'm just saying. So we'll leave that one alone, and that's what Arlington is. If anybody wants to share that story, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscription. It's all free. I thought I would start asking questions like that a day, because so many of us are not taught this. Does anybody know about I know you know about the Nina Pinta and Santa Maria, right? Anybody? Show hands. Columbus. Yeah. I'm sorry. Did he walk in here first? Oh, hell no. Was there people living here first? Yes. So, what did he discover? Nothing. He landed on the shores of an entire continent that was a peaceful people, generally, and wiped him out almost. And then he got home and got put in prison, which I thought was rather justifiable, considering what they did to the indigenous Native Americans afterwards. No, they didn't start doing that to the 1800s, but it counts. It's the only reason that the pilgrims were able to actually live through the winters here for about 20 years, man. It's Sacagawea went to England to talk to people to show them they bled red just like the rest of us. Did it do any good? Oh, hell no. There is something that should be recognized, though, that even during the Civil War and before the Civil War, if you could get to the North, you were free. You were free. And if they had bounty hunters looking for you, they were taken and shoved out of town. So there is something to the North. They tried. But there was a lot more to that war than being said. I'll just say that. Being a military person myself. This riddle me this, Batman. Why do you go to war in the United States? Entertainment, education only. Why do you go to war in Iraq and Afghanistan for 20 years? And then for 2 generations to serve together, saying it myself. What did these people do to you that you could wage a war against them for 2 decades? What did they do to you? Now you keep screaming 9/11. Show me where there was one Afghanistan or one Iraqi involved in 9/11, and I will pay to see your ass kissed on Main Street. There wasn't one of them. Guess who they were? Look it up. I mean, everything can be looked up nowadays. There's no point just listening to me. I'll let you look that up. I won't keep you. Feel me? You feel me? Yeah. Uh huh. There's so much corruption in Washington that I'm surprised that Jefferson and the rest of them haven't just walked out of their convents and just thrown these guys out. In fact, the tar and feathering were legal. So we won't go too far down that rabbit hole today. And it bothers me because my headphones slip, but I don't get any younger, no matter which way I go with this. How we doing on time? Not too bad. Not too bad. I still, like I said, I need those likes. I'm getting closer every day, guys. I adore you guys. You guys are so cool. You totally rock. I'm telling you, totally rock, man. I haven't got anything but the lady hippie at the bar right now as my description, and the fact that I want a social Woodstock. I think it's time for all of us hippies, baby boomers, whatever the hell they want to call us. Personally, I go with hippie. You guys can choose. You can just come as an American. I don't care. Come on, jump in there. I could use the help, guys. I really, really, really love all of you. And yeah, each day I see I've got a couple more, and I just have to be patient. I know, but I can't wait to be able to sit down and do, personally anyway, live talk, live chat. Let's get that going. Let's get that comment section filled in. Show me what you want to see. Tell me what you want to put down. I'll drop it. I'll send you a link. I'll do anything I can if you ask for something to make sure it's answered to your satisfaction. And I understand why you would be asking it as well. People like Billy Carson, great guy. Read his books. He's another one that's really good. See, it's Troy. I can't think of his last name now offhand, but he also has a great set of books. I can't think. Trevor, Trevor, or Troy. If it comes to me, I'll throw it up. Put it in the comments. I won't throw it up. I'll put it in the comments. But he's good. You could probably just put in Troy and they'll pull him up. He's got some great books out, and they are fantastic. He deals with the Bible, and he goes to the places and he tries to prove that is the Bible historically fact. And believe it or not, this is something, yeah, I like about it is that the fact is the Old Testament, in case anybody doesn't know, anybody know the Old Testament and what it is? Show of hands. I know. Okay. It's the Torah. Your Old Testament is the Torah. Hook, line, and sinker is the Torah. And you could go back even further if you read the Sanskrit and so forth, but we won't be redundant. So it's the Torah. The New Testament, the Israelis did not agree with, of course. They didn't agree with Yeshua. So that wasn't happening. I love this part in the New Testament. Apparently, God, Jesus, Yeshua, come down and said, Paul, you're my first minister. So apparently, they built the Vatican up around it with this huge chair and said, okay, he's it. I could talk about this one for every day. I'm dang long hours. Yeah, I'm not kissing anybody's ring, and I'm not washing their feet. Now, if Yeshua comes through, I'd be happy to perform that for him. I don't believe he'd want me to kiss his ring, and he washes his own feet. Bring ID. So, those subjects asked and answered. Yeah, I think it's very evil, by the way. And it burdens me in a lot of respects because I saved up for 2 months to get my son baptized there when I was stationed overseas. So it's breaking my heart to see what's going on in catechism or Christianity or Muslim or Latter-day Saints or Jehovah's Witness, whichever one you want to pick for that one, Baptist, Protestant, pick one. None of them are right, fellas. None of them. As a whole, you might be able to pick up pearls of wisdom. In the Bible, Jesus disappeared for 30 years. But if you look at the Nag Hammadi scrolls, or if you look at, say, the Muslim book, if you read their Bible, you'll find where Jesus went for those 30 years, check India and so forth. You will see where Yeshua went. He couldn't preach to those who were in Jerusalem because they were controlled by the Sanhedrin, which is the highest caste you can get. And, they got used to being fed free from all those sacrifices. So, yeah, I don't think that it was God persecuting that young man. That was the powers that be. It was why when he threw the money down and went after the money chain. I like that part. And he said, you give to Caesar what's Caesar's, and you give to God what is God, and you get this mess out of God's house. That was up in the temple. And of course, he was murdered for going against the Sanhedrin. There's a whole other story there about, it was supposed to be free of prisoner day. And instead of freeing either one of the confessed thieves, uh, they chose one of the confessed thieves, and that thief went free, but not Yeshua. He was of course crucified. They have never, they said, found the spirit of love guidance, haven't found the ark, haven't done this, haven't done that. Yet I actually saw a version yesterday when I was skimming, and so I popped that in there, and they had found, they think anyway, an Ark of the Covenant. And they went on and they found 6 Arks of the Covenant. And there's supposed to be 10 now, we hear. Who's saying 10? Who's saying, hey, who did this? So I'm trying to get that kind of caught up. Not sure what they're doing there. But it's very interesting to see. I don't know if this is made up or, what I'm saying. Um, Whereas in Egypt, they're closing things down. Zahi Hawass, I wish he would retire or something. I don't like that man. He is rude. He is ugly. He's belligerent. He's stupid. And he thinks people think he's a god. The man couldn't spell shit or shine only if it was written on the direction of his heel. I'm just saying. I don't like him. He stinks of secrets. Now, they know, or they were told several years ago, that there was an empty space. Well, it wasn't empty, but there was another Sphinx, or space in the Sphinx. And, oh, well, we're going to leave that alone. We can't, No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And Edgar Casey, the Sleeping Prophet, look it up if you don't know it or tell me. I'll put it in the comments. But Edgar Casey predicted that they would be found, the Atlantis. Right. The Atlanteans knew that this was coming down and it would probably take down the entire civilization this time. It had happened 3 years, or no, 3 times rather before. So they took their knowledge and what I guess maybe some of the artifacts to different locations in the world. This is by Edgar Casey, the Sleeping Prophet. So somewhere in South America, somewhere in, I believe, Peru, and then you had those of Egypt. And so, and he said where the one was, actually two, said that off the coast of Bimini in 1968, the first would be found, the start of the ruins of Atlantis. Now, mind you, we're still talking the Atlantic Ocean. I suppose they named that after what? The squirrel? I just say, what? This can't be rocket science, I don't know about this multiple thing, but we find it and find out. So that's what that was. And I thought I would touch on that for a minute. By the way, the Karens, they're out there. If you're drunk and it comes to sit your ass down and shut up. You have a 1 in 1 chance of not going at least to jail on other charges. I've been watching these stupid Karens, and mind you, they'll tell them, we're not going to prosecute you. We're going to give you a misdemeanor ticket, and we're going to make sure you get home because you're drunk, so you have to leave your car here and get it tomorrow. They go to jail because he's just up in the, they don't quit. I don't get it. Are you kidding? Excuse me. Mm. That's why I keep the coffee. Oh, I really need to go to the store. I hate going some days. So there we were with the Karens, and I think if you look up Karen, you'll find that. Oh, you laugh a lot. Tomorrow I got that appointment. I hope I can get out of it. We'll see. My counter's timed out pretty quick here. So I wanted to say, hey again, dislike, whatever you want. Put some comment in, share. Hit the subscription bell if you don't want to watch when it comes out. And mind you, you can watch it at any time. If you're a subscriber, he gives you that little bell. It's just to alert you that I've dropped one here, and you can come see it when you want to. It doesn't add up to millions of kilowatts in your computer. So I mean, it's affordable, it's free, and if you don't like it, you don't want it, you can take it out in 20 seconds. I promise. So I mean, and I need my Woodstock Warriors. I really want to see what we 60-year-olds have to say. I don't. I think that the rest of us have some chutzpah enough to get up here and say, we don't like this. Let's do something about it. Well, now, see, I'm too old to be doing that, but we can talk through things and maybe find a way. Maybe the youth of today, including our grandchildren, would have some ideas because it's on them now. I mean, we are sitting at home retired, and that's where we need to be. I almost want to sit on my husband because he's always off doing things, and he needs to be in a boat with a fishing pole. I mean, he's got the RV. He's working on it, so he's got some projects, and he's got to finish his boat. So, and I'll be so happy when he does because then he can finally go chill out for a couple of days. He hasn't had a vacation again. Let's see. I think neither of us have in like a decade since we moved down here. I think we have one. Because I went to the casinos in North Carolina and gem mining. We decided that because it's only about 4 hours away from here, 4 or 5. So that was a lot of fun. If you've never done it, go to North Carolina. Also, the casinos there. I love that. Do you know they tried to get the Native Americans to sign over most of the casinos, saying that a Native American could not own them? You just can't make this shit up. It's just I mean you've got a known felon in Atlanta who stole millions of dollars and used her office to do so. That would be the DA Fannie Willis, who is still DA Fannie Willis. So no, yeah, there's nothing crooked going on with the justice system. I couldn't say it with a straight face. I thought Chicago was screwed up. I lied. Good grief. I'll be ashamed of herself now. Now, how the hell does a judge not wonder how she got nearly $1 million in cash out of her freaking mattress? I mean, it's not rocket science. It's where the hell did you get the money? But no, you're clear. Just don't use your boyfriend to hire him anymore. So yeah, this guy is as dirty as she is. And you know what? This is Atlanta. Don't get away with that. Now, don't drive 55 in a 45 because they'll face plant your ass, kneel in the middle of your back, shackle your handcuffs behind you so tight that you can't get circulation. At the same time, using a leather strap to hog tie you, and they will then carry you by your clothes, back and front, by your clothes, and do this and shove you into the back of the car. Seen it, I swear to God. And the girl was guilty of nothing. She, for once, had mouthed off or anything. They just asked her to step behind the car. She had a warrant, it turns out. So it was, she said, like, what? And that was it. It was, thrown to the ground. And I mean, blood running down her face. She was 23. And she didn't realize that she had one. She didn't understand it. And she kept saying, I don't have one. I went and they gave me a different day. It turned out she had. They had sent the warrant because she wasn't there on whatever day it was. But they had extended it through her attorney to a different date. And so they should never have come after her. I don't know what happened with her. But and they also, when they got her first in the cuffs and they were hobbling her, they jerked her up, threw her against the car, and they're going through her pocket. These are men, and this is a 23-year-old girl, and she was very pretty. And they're checking her fucking bra. I'm sorry about the F-bomb. I was so PO'd about this. And they checked her pockets in the back, playing with her rear end and the front, and pulling it all out. And literally, I mean, visually, they were holding her top open and checking her bra with their hands. And I was shocked. I was really gobsmacked. I've seen three of those now, and these were less than a month ago in different cities. I was just gobsmacked. I was like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" And the girl's 23, and she is drunk, but she's sobering up now. And she's like, "Why are you in my bra?" Kind of thing. And this is on their own body cams. I'm sure they'll get it deleted. But somebody was with her and they're filming this. These men had no way and no right to touch that girl. And I saw it several times happen to these drunk young girls. And yeah, they've got it coming. I'd arrest them, pepper sprayed them, I'd have tased them. Yeah, I understand that. And I understand you don't want them in the back of your squad car because they could have something. And I can tell you his story. But yeah, I understand that too. But you don't get to run your hands around a woman's breast area or in their breasts. Bra. You don't get to run your hands on the inside of your back pockets, so they're playing with your underwear. None of that's allowed, guys. That is not allowed. And yet, I know just yesterday, and I've been looking for it just to see. And I've seen at least five just yesterday, and these were less than a week ago that were let go. They were printed out, whatever y'all want to call it. They were released in any event. And I was shocked at the last one that I saw. And I'm talking, all over the breast, all over it. I mean, somebody had to call them off. And she's a 23-year-old. She probably had new boobs. I mean, she was a well developed young lady and very pretty to boot. You don't do that. You just don't do that. I will sue you to the Supreme Court had I been her mama. I don't care who you are. I don't care why you wanted to arrest her. You needed to wait for a female to do that shit. And I've seen that four times in just the past, I think it's 3 or 4 weeks, that these men are searching these young ladies like this. Um, this is wrong, but this is happening in multiple states. I mean, the other stuff, yeah, they should throw them in the car. I have no problem with that. The problem I have is after they've thrown them in the car, and mind you, they've thrown them in the car already, then they get them out so they can be searched. So 20 minutes later, this girl's whipped out again, and she's hogtied, hands and feet, and they're playing grab a sex part. I mean, I don't know what else you call it. Um, I don't know who took the film. I hope they took the film to her attorney because and people think it's okay. It's not okay. I got news for you guys. It's by law. You have to get a female to search a female, and they didn't. And they did not search this girl. They groped this girl. And it wasn't one that decided to check to see if she had some. It was three of them. They all had to check to see if she had some. This girl was going into one squad car, for God's sakes, and they didn't turn off any of their body cams. I'll give them that. The body cams seen her. This girl was just weeping at this point and begging that the police stop touching her. And three cops, three men, searched this girl. And this girl had clothes on. Honey, you couldn't have put a letter there that I wouldn't have seen. It wasn't like this girl was in clothes that was, voluptuous and you had to dig her. No. She had, a nice tight outfit on there, and it looked very good on her, I thought. And I thought, well, the cows could be nicer to her because she's pretty. Oh, no. No, they were ugly as fuck. And they wanted to make sure she had no weapons. This girl didn't even have a bra when they were done. So check on those things with your congressman and check on the law, see if they can search a woman. Things may have changed by now. I've not been stopped, amen. But if a man tries to search me, I'd be like her. I'd be fighting with handcuffs and on. And I give her credit. She fought like a lioness. I landed her in more trouble, but I give her credit. And now I see it's my turn to go. I really hate to. I need you guys. I love you guys. Thanks again for the 21 that came on. I love you guys. You guys are so rocking it. You know, it is social Woodstock. Let's get it all together. Let's hit that 1,000. Then I could throw in some good 70s rock and roll. We could play. We could look at some merchandise. We could do this. Why don't we baby boomers or hippies, but I prefer hippie. Why don't we show the next generation how good we still are? That's the ticket right there. That's the ticket. Then I am not leaving. I will not go. I will continue to do this until I'm a sack of bones sitting in a chair. So y'all come on up, hit that like button for me. Say, yep, she's a total hippie. Good for me. Right? Put your comments in there. I want to hear more. I want to hear from you guys more. Now, just hit like for sure. But come and see me at the bar. Come and see me. Let's talk stuff. Let's find out what is going on this planet that we've been too busy to figure out because we were working two jobs in college and kids and but we're retired now. We have grandkids that are grown. It's time for us to go, oh hell no. Open that window. I'm pissed off and I'm not taking this anymore kind of thing. It's like those weird sounds that have been coming up. Everybody's probably seen that already on YouTube. Yeah, see, I really have to go. I don't want to keep you guys more than necessary. But you guys are so appreciated. Just know that you're so appreciated. I can't do this really. I can't. And I joke and I say I'm going to stand, but I can't do this without you guys. So come see me. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm right. Either way, it's good for me. If I'm wrong, please tell me so I can learn something from it. If you want to talk about something else, jump in there. I will talk to you about anything. It doesn't matter. If you don't want to hear me talk, you want me to drop a video, we can do that. It's an advertisement thing. Is why it's also difficult for a single podcaster who's just starting out to drop things because that would require me to pay them. And until I know how this works and I get enough viewers, I'm not going to pay anybody. I'm cheap like that. And nobody can help me out with payments until we do the Patreon. So, I love you guys and I appreciate you every morning. I hope to see you soon. If you ever get a chance, pop in on my live chance up here. Uh, I call it a live chance because I never know. I might get somebody. I might just get somebody. I hope so. I dare you. I don't want this moods. Well, come and see me tomorrow, guys. I'll be here all week. Toodles.